Ah, there you are again. Same mistake, different Tuesday. You'd think by now, some part of you would have learned. But no, here you are. Standing in the wreckage of a decision you've made before, wearing the same confused expression, asking the same useless question. Why does this keep happening to me? That question, that precious, pitiful question. As if the universe is doing something to you. As if you're the victim of some cosmic prank and not the one pulling the lever. You know what I find fascinating? You're actually quite intelligent. You can see patterns in other people's lives with stunning clarity. You'll watch a friend chase the same wrong person for the 5th time and say, oh, you'll say it. They never learn. And then you'll go home and repeat the exact behavior you promised yourself 3 months ago you were done with. I know someone very deliberate man, very principled, who had this extraordinary commitment to showing up only when absolutely necessary. Never too early, never vulnerable, always precisely when the situation demanded just enough of him to seem heroic. And he genuinely believed that was discipline. I found it the most elaborate avoidance strategy I had ever witnessed. Beautifully constructed, completely unconscious. That's you, isn't it? Not the cape. The unconscious part. The pattern runs. You don't run it. That is what we're here to discuss. Let's be precise about what's actually happening. Your brain, that magnificent, treacherous organ, doesn't distinguish between good habits and destructive ones. It only recognizes familiar ones. And familiar to your brain means safe. Even when familiar means painful. Even when familiar means humiliating. Even when you can see, with perfect clarity, exactly where the road leads because you've been on it before the brain says, yes, this. I know this. Do this. That's reinforcement learning, not a metaphor, not poetry. Actual neurological architecture doing exactly what it was designed to do, utterly indifferent to whether the outcome is good for you. Every time you repeated the behavior and survived even barely, the loop tightened. Every time the outcome was tolerable, the groove deepened. And now the behavior fires before you've finished the thought, before you've made a choice. You think you're deciding. You're not. You're executing a program written years ago by a version of you that had far less information and far more fear. And the cruelest part? You can feel it happening. Right in the moment, some small, horrified part of you watches and says, here we go again. And still, you go. Stop calling it weakness. That's the first mistake, and the irony of making a mistake about your mistakes is not lost on me. I assure you. What you're experiencing isn't a character flaw. It's a calibration problem. Your automatic systems were calibrated to an environment that no longer exists, by experiences that no longer define you, for threats that have long since dissolved. The behavior made sense once, somewhere, to someone, to a younger version of you who had very few tools and very little choice. That version of you did what they could. The question is whether you, the current model, with all the updated information, all the hindsight, all the clarity you clearly possess when it's someone else's life, whether you're willing to intervene in your own loop. See, awareness is not enough. Everyone is aware. Awareness without interruption is just a very informed tragedy. You don't need to understand the pattern more deeply. You need to catch the moment just before it fires and do something different. Anything different. Even wrong differently. Wrong differently is still data. Wrong the same way is just Tuesday again. 4 moves. Specific ones. Not motivational. Mechanical. First name the trigger, not the behavior. The behavior is the end of the story. The trigger is the first line. What sensation, what situation, what specific kind of discomfort precedes the pattern? Locate it. Not in the abstract, in the body. Where do you feel it? Because the pattern doesn't begin when you take the action, it begins when that signal fires. Catch it there or don't catch it at all. Second, insert a delay. Not a lecture to yourself. Not a long internal debate. A pause. 90 seconds. Do something physical. The interruption doesn't need to be profound. It needs to be long enough that the automatic impulse loses its grip and your prefrontal cortex rejoins the conversation. Third, design a replacement behavior in advance. Not in the moment is too hot. In the quiet now, before the trigger arrives. What will you do instead? Something specific. Something you can actually execute under pressure. The answer cannot be, I'll just think about it. That is how the pattern wins every single time. Fourth, audit the environment. Most loops don't survive a changed environment. The room, the person, the app, the time of day. Something in your surroundings is holding the trigger in place. Identify it. Adjust it. You are not weak for needing to change your environment. You are weak only if you refuse to. That's it. Not inspiration. Infrastructure. Here's the part no one tells you. You will not break the pattern the first time. Probably not the fifth. The loop has momentum, and momentum doesn't care about your intentions. What changes it is repetition of the interruption, which means you have to be willing to fail at breaking it. Observe the failure without collapsing into it, and try again with slightly better information. Every time you catch the pattern mid-execution, even if you can't stop it, you have weakened it. Every time you name the trigger before it fires, you have begun dismantling it. This is not a transformation. It's an erosion. Slow, deliberate, and absolutely relentless. The question isn't whether you'll make the mistake again. You might. The question is whether you'll make it consciously. With full awareness of the loop, of the trigger, of the choice you are or aren't making, and whether, one day, that awareness becomes the wedge that finally splits the thing open. You've been running the same script for a long time. You clearly know how it ends. The only interesting question is whether you'll ever bother to write a different one.